Camp Lone Star, 119 deer in 4 years. Average Boone and Crockett score, 157. More than 16,600 inches of horn. Lined up, that's more than a quarter of a mile. Sound like a dream place for a guided deer hunt? Maybe, if it weren't the biggest deer poaching operation in the history of Kansas. And thanks to cooperation between a number of state and federal agencies, case closed. The bad guys are going to prison. James Bobby Butler, 42, of Martinsville, Texas, was sentenced this week for operating a deer guide service near Coldwater that covered a spectrum of deer poaching activities and robbed Kansans of trophy bucks ranging from 120 inches to well over 200 inches. Some of these animals, confiscated in a 5-year investigation that involved more than 5,000 hours by Kansas and Texas wildlife law enforcement officers, were on display at the press conference at Wichita's Great Plains Nature Center. Barry Grissom, U.S. Attorney for the District of Kansas who helped prosecute the case, summarizes the sentence.
He was sentenced to 41 months in federal prison, assessed a $25,000 fine, ordered to pay restitution of $25,000 to the Kansas Wildlife Department. After he serves his time in federal prison, he will do 3 years of supervised release, and during that period of time, he will not be allowed to hunt, fish, trap, or guide hunts during that 3 years.
Butler's brother, Marlon Jackson Butler, 36, also of Martinsville, Texas, will be sentenced later this week for his part in the operation. He also faces federal prison time. The scope of this crime placed it under the 100-year-old Federal Lacey Act, which makes it illegal to knowingly transport or sell in interstate commerce any wildlife taken or possessed in violation of state law or regulation. While most of this case was developed by Kansas Wildlife and Parks game wardens, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service special agents, game wardens from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and personnel from the U.S. Attorney General's office were also instrumental in the prosecution. Cases like this often start with a tip from concerned Kansas citizens. If you see wildlife violations in the state, call Operation Game Thief at 1-877-426-3843. Help protect our Kansas natural resources. I'm Mike Blair for Kansas Wildlife and Parks.